We say it every year because it feels that way every year. The season goes by so quickly. Can you believe it? It's week number 11 of the season for Ohio football 2014, and our preview is presented by Donwood Toyota of Athens. I'm Russ Eisenstein, the voice of the Ohio Bobcats. It's 5-5 and 3-3 Ohio, and 8-2 and 5-1 Northern Illinois on Tuesday night at Peden Stadium. It's also senior night for the Bobcats, and we'll honor this senior class. It's a smaller senior class, but it's a group that's done a great deal of heavy lifting. A lot of wins, a lot of attention, a lot of trips to bowl games. Ohio is trying to capture their 6th straight bowl trip, and that most certainly can happen. And this senior class hopefully is passing on a great deal of knowledge and success to future senior classes. Ohio football now is in a far better spot than it has been in previous decades, and so Ohio is enjoying that success, and this senior group is a big part of that. Talking about bowl eligibility, Ohio has 2 games to get to 6 or 7 wins. Because of the way the current lay of the land sets out, 6 might actually get you there. More than just qualify, might get you to a bowl. 7 could get you in with ease. Ohio is Northern and then on the road against Miami. It will not be easy against the Huskies because they have set the standard for MAC excellence for several years now. This is a team that has had individual and team notoriety nationally. Of course, Jordan Lynch was a Heisman Trophy finalist, their quarterback who graduated after last year, and they were in the BCS Orange Bowl 2 seasons ago. They'll be making their 7th straight trip to a bowl game. They've come a long way from a 23-game losing streak that was broken back in 1998 in the rain in front of a couple thousand people at Husky Stadium with the win over Central Michigan. I remember that game well because I was there. Students ran in from the dorms. They didn't go to the game. They just ran in from the dorms to tear down the goalpost. And you could take a look at where NIU football is at right now. Stats, well, Ohio is taking on a team that has had 54 wins since 2010. After their win over Toledo the other night, the Huskies trail just Oregon as far as wins in that time frame. There are a lot of other good stats, too, about the Cardinal and Black of NIU. Northern Illinois has won 36 of the last 37 MAC regular season games. It's won 30 of the last 31 games at home and 19 of the last 20 games in the opposition's home stadium. The Huskies have had a double-digit win total in each of the last 4 seasons. They're on their 3rd head coach in that time. Jerry Kill, who took over for legendary and program-changing Joe Novak, went to Minnesota. Dave Doran is now at NC State, and Rod Carey's in his 3rd season in DeKalb as the head coach. His first game was in the Orange Bowl against Florida State. This year, the wins are over FCS Presbyterian, Northwestern for the first time in 8 tries, at UNLV, Kent State at home, Miami at home, at Eastern Michigan, at Ball State, and last week, 27-24 over Toledo in their home finale. It was a 6th straight win over the Rockets. The losses at Arkansas, that was their 3rd road game in a row, and Central Michigan dominated in DeKalb 34-17 on their homecoming. Chandler Harnish and Jordan Lynch set a pretty high standard at quarterback. One was All-MAC and the other was a Heisman finalist. This year, after rotating through a few, Drew Hare has settled into the job. The sophomore works the same offense they ran with Lynch for 6. He has 1,542 yards and 12 touchdowns through the air and 687 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. They have a tradition of great running backs. Thomas Hammock, Michael Turner, Garrett Wolf. Now it's Cameron Stingley, a solidly built back who has 706 yards and 10 touchdowns. Akeem Daniels is healthy again, and Joel Bonio will get carries too. Deron Brown, Joanne Breskeson, Argyros Turner, and Chad Beebe, Don's son, make up the solid receiving corps that will run too. Defensively, safety Marlon Moore leads the Dogs in tackles with 75. D lineman Jason Meehan has a team-high 9.5 tackles for loss, and the MAC leading 7 of their 21 sacks. Corner Paris Logan has 2 of their 8 interceptions. The Huskies score 31.5 points per game and give up 25.5, both 4th in the MAC. They're tops in rushing and 12th in passing for the 3rd total offense in the league. They're 6th against the run and 7th against the pass. Their total D is 4th in the conference. Beating 20 all-time between the Cardinal and Black and the Green and White. The last win for Ohio came back in 2009. You might remember that game. It was a thriller at Peden Stadium. Ohio won it. Junie Posey had a pick 6 in that contest, part of the late game heroics to give Ohio the win over a Jerry Kill-led Husky bunch. Jerry has gone on to great success with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. 2011 was the last meeting. Heartbreak in Detroit at the MAC championship game. Ohio was on top 20-0 at halftime, lost the game 23-20. Always special for me to call an Ohio NIU game, and we're on the air on the Ohio IMG Sports Network at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. With the kick at 8, it's also being broadcast on the ESPN family of networks. It's also a Bobcat Blackout night at Peden Stadium. That involves another T-shirt. Looks pretty good. Proceeds from this T-shirt and the sales of it go to the Masters of Sports Administration program, one of the crown jewels academically here at the Harvard on the Hocking. It will be $15 on day of the game, $20 pre-sale with a ticket. Click around on OhioBobcats.com for details on all of that. There you go. We've got you set. In our game week preview for Ohio and Northern Illinois, presented by Donwood Toyota of Athens. For Tanner Smith, I'm Russ Eisenstein, and this is Bobcat TV.